You're watching WKMG News 6 Orlando. Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at 5.
A man locked up accused of trying to abduct a young girl. I'm Stephanie Rodriguez in Lake County's. The new details on his arrest this morning and what neighbors are saying about him being locked up.
And a man accused in a deadly mass shooting in Orlando with a new request to the judge, what he's now asking for the days before he's set to start trial.
It's another day with plenty of fog in the forecast. Dense fog advisory remains in effect, but not for everyone, as low visibility will be expected between now and sunrise. We'll have more details on the timing and a look at that quick springtime warm-up ahead.
A beautiful condition right here on this wall turns out to be a costly mistake here in downtown Apopka. I'm Mark Lehman with new fallout from a mural that ended up disappearing just days later.
Plus, a string of local businesses are handed counterfeit cash. We'll tell you how workers flag the fakes and who detectives are now looking for. Good Wednesday morning, friends. Hump day. We made it halfway through the week. We got halfway to go. It is 5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Lauren Melendez.
And I'm Stephen Montiero. Justin has the day off, but listen, we need to get over to Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos with your forecast with some different, not as bad. I'm trying to figure out a whole bunch of different words for that fog out there this morning.
Yeah, the dense fog advisory not including the coastline today, so there is a little bit of a difference there, but also the overall kind of coverage and intensity not as bad as how we had, especially on Monday. So conditions are improving, but still just enough of fog in the forecast for the National Weather Service to issue another dense fog advisory. Third day in a row, this one once again in effect until 9 a.m. This does include all of Lake Mary and Sumter County, Seminole, Orange, and Osceola, as visibility could get down to less than about a quarter of a mile. Yesterday and on Monday, our map was covered in kind of that white shading here with those contours. Not so much the case this morning, but we are going to continue to see conditions worsen as we get closer towards that sunrise. So right now, visibility down to about a mile or two in areas in around Ocala, Leesburg, Cocoa Beach right now seeing the worst of it. But once again, it's a mild start across the area. Certainly light jacket worthy as the kids are heading out the door in the next few hours. Right now, we are already in the upper 50s, closing in at 65 degrees already in Ocala. Certainly much warmer than how we started this week. If you're planning on enjoying maybe the theme parks for today, maybe Universal, temperatures this afternoon back into those low 80s, but we're going to even warm up a little further towards the end of the week. Could even be flirting with some record highs all before winter returns to Central Florida. We'll have your full forecast coming up in just minutes. Now let's see how those roadways are doing. Certainly patchy fog out there though, Steve.
Yeah, I was trying to keep up with you this morning looking at your map and found some. So this is going to be in one of our busiest areas, usually I-4 Champions Gate area. Mix this with some construction. Keep in mind, fog does not stop construction. So as you're out there this morning, please make sure you're paying attention. East and westbound, we're up to speed. All your lanes are open, but once you get closer to the Champions Gate area, you might run into a brief slowdown as crews, men and women are out there working early this morning. East and westbound nice and clear. If you're hopping on 429 this morning, your ramps are smooth. Northbound on the 429, whether you're in Osceola or headed towards Orange, it is all clear.
All right, Steve, thank you. Just a day after Eustis police released photos of an attempted kidnapping suspect's SUV, this is it, an arrest has actually been made in this case. Gregory Lockwood, he is waking up in Lake County Jail this morning, and now we know the alleged victim from him is a minor. So News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is following the new developments live. Stephanie, what are neighbors actually saying after this heinous arrest?
Lauren, people who live near the area where this happened say they're really thankful that Eustis police were able to capture the 55-year-old. He's accused of trying to abduct a minor, and he should be facing a judge later today. Meanwhile, the Eustis police chief says when it comes to crimes like this, they have absolutely zero tolerance. We'll have more from him coming up in the next half hour of our show here on News 6. Reporting live in Lake County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Stephanie, thank you. Happening today, President Trump is set to give a briefing to senators. This will be after the capture and arrest of longtime Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. And it comes as we get a better sense of what could come next with the country's large supply of oil. In a post on social media Tuesday, the president said Venezuela will be turning over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. The president is pledging to sell it at market price and then use the proceeds to benefit the people of both countries. Some Trump critics, however, have accused the president of carrying out this operation so that the U.S. can control the Venezuelan oil supply. The administration is maintaining this was strictly a law enforcement operation after years of drug crimes.
Meantime, we're now hearing from Governor DeSantis about the possibility of Florida bringing its own criminal charges against Maduro, saying it may have broken state law by sending dangerous prisoners to the United States.
Tren de Aragua gang members that were in prison there, and he did that. And so to me, that is a very hostile act. So we're looking at the statutes to see, obviously we've got robust narcotic statutes, but certainly on that importing the criminal element.
The governor said yesterday the state attorney general is seriously considering the move, but didn't offer any more about just when it could happen. Florida's home to over 300,000 Venezuelans. Many are recent immigrants or people seeking asylum from the Maduro regime.
Also new this morning, just days before he is set to stand trial, the man accused of carrying out a deadly mass shooting in downtown Orlando, he is now asking for another mental health evaluation. Jalen Edgar, who was 17 at the time, he's accused of firing into a crowd on Halloween night in 2024. 2 people, including a 19-year-old, were killed. In a new handwritten letter to the judge, Edgar says he was in disturbed mental state on the night of the shooting, and now he'd like another evaluation before deciding on a plea deal offer from the state. A hearing is now set for this afternoon, and as it stands now, jury selection in Edgar's trial is set to begin on Monday.
Well, it was supposed to be a beautiful new addition to downtown Apopka. Now, instead, one mural ended up turning into a months-long mess. We talked about this in full for several months. The problem is it looked too much like another artist's work, and it ended up having to be painted over.
So now in just hours, the city is about to talk about the future of the nonprofit that is behind the whole project. Let's get to News 6's Mark Lehman following this story live. Mark, this ended up being a very costly mistake.
Yeah, the city is looking to get reimbursed about $5,000 from Main Street Apopka. That includes the cost for painting the mural that was here and then literally whitewashing this wall just days later. As commissioners are now seeking to get that money back, they're also deciding if they want to continue their partnership with the nonprofit. Now, Main Street Apopka has suggested a forfeiture of $4,600 from its next disbursement from the city, but that would only be on the table if Apopka continues that contract. Now, all of this will be discussed during today's city council meeting. That is set for 1:30 this afternoon. For now, reporting live in Apopka, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Thanks, Mark. Time now 5:10. The son of Hollywood legend preparing for court after being charged with murdering his parents.
Coming up, what's expected to happen in just hours. Plus, the quick takedown of a suspected thief, all new this morning. The body camera footage you have to see as one man tried to get away on a bike.
Plus, the famous Mecum Auto Auction is back here in Central Florida. We'll show you one of the most talked about car events of the year. Candace.
You can see how big Steve's smile is when he's looking at those cars. Bus stop forecast as you're jumping in your car. Where the kids are heading to that bus stop, just do be aware we are dealing with some dense fog. It is going to be a little warmer than yesterday. We'll have more details on your full forecast coming up in minutes.
And mix that fog with now a crash along State Road 417 up at the 40-mile marker in Seminole County. Coming up, I'll dive a little deeper into this crash. But first, here are your drive times.
I was crashed into by a careless driver just south of Gainesville, and attorney Dan Newland got me $550,000.
Involved in a car accident? Let's get started. Call me at 407-888-8000.
Thank you, Dan.
No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
Well, the son of accused Hollywood icon Rob Reiner is back, and his son of his wife and husband is due back in court today. Nick Reiner is set to be arraigned in Los Angeles. The 32-year-old has been held without bail since his arrest 3.5 weeks ago. The couple was found stabbed to death inside their Brentwood home last month. Prosecutors charged Reiner with 2 counts of first-degree murder, along with special circumstances that could lead to a much harsher sentence. Reiner's attorney says the case is complex and urges the public not to rush to judgment as the court now begins deciding whether the evidence is strong enough for this case to even move forward with trial. Look, I'll pitch in $1,000. You can just pitch in the rest.
$1,000, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Man, she's being very generous.
Yeah, I know.
The cars that go there,
Wow.
it's insane. Last year, we can show it on clickorlando.com, they were auctioning off a former presidential limousine.
That's right. That's right.
And I think it's up in the coast somewhere here in
Yeah.
Florida, but really, really
It's
great
just
time.
so pretty.
They're cool to look at.
They're
though.
so
I mean,
pretty.
Family friendly, so you can go out. Weather coming up the next few days is going to look great.
It's gonna be great.
Heritage Park got
There we go.
plenty of space out
Plenty
there.
of running space for everybody.
Yes.
That's awesome. No, I mean, and you know what? That's also the nice thing about it is this weekend, not too bad. It's going to be a bit on the warmer side, but still, for the most part, even though we are tracking the arrival of a new cold front, Steve, not a whole lot of rain associated with it. So this is what to expect, though, for this week. We have a little springtime backdrop here. It's going to feel more like late March, early April than technically the first full week of 2026, but we are going to continue to even get close to near record highs by the end of the week. Then a cold front comes through. As that sweeps through, we're talking about some cooler air, highs down into the 60s, overnight lows back down into those 40s. But we are going to continue on a pretty stagnant weather pattern over the next couple of days, and that once again is fueling for the likely development of early morning patchy fog again today and again tomorrow. Right now, visibility not as bad as the last couple of mornings we've been waking up to, but still at times visibility is down to about a mile or so in areas in around Ocala and Leesburg. Conditions are improving along the coastline, but everywhere inland is now under that dense fog advisory until 9 a.m. due to the potential for some low visibility at times. Now, temperatures out the door. Look at you guys in Ocala right now. You are at 65 degrees. You're running 10 degrees warmer than where you were yesterday at this time. Right now, we're at 61 in Sanford, 60 degrees there in New Smyrna. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today. Certainly a top-down kind of day if you have the opportunity to do so. We are going to see a mix of sun and clouds. Highs today will be in those low 80s as you continue to stay mostly dry. Once again, that early morning fog will burn off. Mostly sunny skies at times. Models are picking up another round of some early morning patchy fog, though, for your Thursday. But let me kind of show you here the big picture. That big ridge of high pressure will finally start to break down and shift out towards the Atlantic, and that's going to give just enough wiggle room for a jet stream to actually send in our next cold front come Saturday and into Sunday. But leading up to that cold front, temperature's going to warm up a little further, which is why Orlando, Sanford, and Leesburg could get a few degrees shy of tying records. In Orlando, the record to beat is 84, set back in 2013. But you can see there is going to be a significant dip in temperatures compared to this week and next week. You can see highs low 80s, and then we're going to be dropping down below average. Highs will be staying in the upper 60s to low 70s. As we get results here, the full 7-day forecast, whether it's the auto show or something else you're planning on doing this weekend, I do think the weather is going to be shaping up, including that Disney Marathon. We'll have the full forecast for marathon runners coming up in just a little bit. Now let's check on the roadway. Speaking of marathon runner.
Yeah,
no, absolutely
right.
not. The complete opposite.
Yeah, the only marathon, I used to ride my FHP motorcycle in that thing, and that's
Yes.
it. Listen, we are dealing with an early morning crash in a construction zone. So southbound 417 at the 40-mile marker. So for those that don't speak mile markers, this is just south of Redbug Lake Road, Seminole County line. We talk about this area because of the construction. So southbound, we're looking at about a half-mile delay as you're leaving that Seminole County area headed towards the Aloma. FHP already out on scene with the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. I just need you to be careful because a little bit of that fog out there lingering and the slowdowns could lead to another crash.
All right, Steve, thank you. Hey, we've got a programming note for you. Drew is on the move to make way for something new. So starting Monday, the Drew Barrymore Show moves to 9 a.m. and then at 3, you're in for a treat. We've got a new show live from Orlando. It all starts Monday here on News 6. Well, there is some relief for your wallet when you are visiting downtown Orlando.
Oh, really? Straight ahead. The free service that's now going to continue for another year.
Plus, Disney Springs restaurant facing a lawsuit after a diner chokes to death at the bottom of the hour. By the victim's family says the staff is to blame.
This portion of the news is sponsored by AutoNation. Watch James Sparvero, your News 6 Brevard County community correspondent.
Are you ready to explore Central Florida like never before? I'm Joey Manna.
And I'm Kara Moeller, and we're your News 6 Insider Guide.
Being a News 6 Insider means you get an inside look at wildlife and stories that make Central Florida unique.
This is really, really cool. From day trippers to everyday wild, we bring you the stories and adventures you won't find anywhere else.
Signing up is free and easy. Just go to clickorlando.com/insider to get exclusive access to our videos, special content, and our weekly newsletter.
New this morning, a program that lets people park for free in downtown Orlando is being extended by another year. So the Park DTO program lets people use a special app to get 2 free hours of parking at on-street meters and non-metered spaces, and each account can be used 16 times. It first launched in 2020 as a way to boost businesses during the pandemic. I didn't know about that. I'll be using this. The Downtown Development Board has now extended the program through the end of the year. Also happening today, the Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour is making a stop here in Central Florida. The world-famous team tips off tonight in Daytona Beach at the Ocean Center starting at 7. So if you missed them there, the team is making a second stop in Orange County. The Globetrotters will take the court at 2 p.m. Saturday at the Addition Financial Arena over at UCF. A warning before you drive on I-95. Do not speed.
Do not speed ever anywhere. But coming up, why one sheriff says he is fed up after the holiday season and the new initiative that is now underway. Stephanie?
A man accused of trying to kidnap a minor over the weekend is now in jail. I'm Stephanie Rodriguez live at Lake County's jail. I'll have all of the details coming up.
We're dealing with some early morning patchy fog, not as widespread or as dense as it has been, but we are still pinpointing a dense advisory in the forecast. Right now, though, temperatures out the door a touch warmer. We'll have your full forecast on when we could actually be flirting with record-breaking temperatures coming up in minutes.
Right now, we do have a crash southbound along 417 in Seminole County. Mix that with a little fog, and we have slowdowns. Coming up, I'll show you where it is and how to get around it. You're watching News 6 Mornings. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Watch Molly Reed, your News 6 Volusia County community correspondent. Only on News 6. Watch Jarrell Baker, your News 6 Orange County community correspondent. Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6.
Time now 5:30 on your Wednesday.
All right, let's get a check of your top stories today. A man is set to face a judge in Lake County this morning. He's accused of trying to abduct a minor in Eustis. Police say 55-year-old Gregory Lockwood approached a girl in his SUV. He offered her cash to go with him. She was able to run away.
A man accused of a Halloween night mass shooting in downtown Orlando that left 2 people dead is now asking a judge for another mental health evaluation. Jury selection at Jalen Edgar's trial is currently set to start tomorrow.
And leaders in Apopka are set to talk about the latest fallout from a botched mural project downtown. The group that gets taxpayer money paid thousands for this project, but it ended up having to be painted over because of a plagiarism accusation.
Turning now to the weather, parts of Central Florida are once again under a dense fog advisory this morning as our temperatures again are about to climb up.
We're talking maybe record highs. So let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. This is cool. This is what I was waiting for.
I know. So we're gonna go back into the low 80s, nearing records, transitioning into the weekend, and then winter returns by early next week. So of course, the pretty typical Florida roller coaster winter temperatures are back. Dense fog advisory, though, as you can see there from that live look that we were just showcasing there, the city of Orlando, Light Orlando delivering Hope Together camera was showing a lot of that dense fog. Not so much down to the surface, still just suspended just above some of those buildings, but that is why we have a dense fog advisory. Third day in a row, but this time does not include our coastal communities. You guys saw the worst of it yesterday. Today, I think you're seeing the best of it, to be honest. Looking at those temperatures out the door, we are all in those low 60s. Ocala, though, 11 degrees warmer this morning than yesterday. This warming trend already being felt this morning will continue. And as Lauren mentioned, we could be nearing records pretty soon. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a couple minutes. Now, let's see how those roadways are doing. We have some issues out there.
There's always something going on. Fog out along the east side, and mix that with a crash. We do have slowdowns southbound 417 at the 40-mile marker. Your left lane's currently blocked. You can see the Florida Highway Patrol out there with that vehicle crashed into the left shoulder. Traffic's getting speeding by in your right travel lane. So if you don't speak mile markers, I'll help you out. This is just south of Red Bug Lake Road, north of the Aloma area. Again, southbound 417 Seminole County area. Just need you to be careful at about 5 extra minutes this morning. Also this morning, this man right here is waking up at the Lake County Jail, accused of trying to abduct a juvenile in Eustis.
So now, as he gets ready to face the judge, we are hearing from people living nearby about this scary encounter. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez following this for us this morning. This guy is going to likely stay behind bars, Stephanie?
Yeah, you guys, he's here, as you said, at Lake County's jail this morning. He is charged with attempted abduction and attempted battery on a minor. Now, Lockwood is expected to make his first court appearance today. Once we know more about that, we'll bring it to you live on air and, of course, online at our website, clickorlando.com. Reporting live in Lake County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Stephanie, thank you. A Disney Springs restaurant is facing a lawsuit after the death of a diner. A man's family is saying workers didn't act fast enough to call 911. So the lawsuit says Kevin Duncan was eating at the Boathouse last June when he began choking on a piece of steak. So allegedly, family members tried to help, but the suit claims staff delayed calling for help and contacted security personnel first. Duncan was rushed to the hospital, placed on a ventilator, and died the next day. Lawyers say the restaurant failed to train employees to handle choking emergencies and lacked proper emergency response policies. We reached out to a third-party company that runs that restaurant, but so far we haven't heard anything back. New this morning, a major crackdown is underway on I-95 in Brevard County after a deadly holiday season. So you might want to pay attention to this. The Sheriff's Office and the Florida Highway Patrol are launching a new traffic safety push. It will target speeding, aggressive driving, distractions, and impaired drivers. The county's 72-mile stretch of I-95 has been flagged as one of the deadliest in the country. Now, law enforcement says there will be zero-tolerance approach with troopers and deputies flooding the highway. And the message is already clear. The Sheriff's Office posted this on social media saying on the first day of enforcement, deputies and troopers handed out 112 tickets. They also say this isn't short-term operation and drivers should expect a continued high visibility presence.
Well, the school board in Orange County appears to be ready to move forward with a deal to sell the massive Hungerford property in Eatonville. That is despite ongoing objections from some city leaders. It's all part of a deal between the district and Dr. Phillips Charities. They will get the 117-acre former school site for just $1 million. In exchange, they're mandated to build things like a health care facility and new parks in the next 10 years. But some of the town council are very upset. They say they were shut out of this decision-making process and that the plans are not what they had in mind for the site.
I believe in Eatonville that we should have the consideration to own the property 100%. We asked for a 90-day extension in order to bring back facts, figures, and our plan as to how are we going to get this done.
Well, despite that request, the school board is likely to take a final vote on the deal as early as next week.
The fight to save Cape Canaveral's only school is reaching a critical moment with a closure vote just days away. Yesterday, city leaders made an emotional appearance before the Brevard County School Board, urging members not to shut down Cape View Elementary. Declining enrollment and aging population have put it on the chopping block. District leaders say moving students to a nearby school would actually save money, but city leaders and parents say losing the school would mean losing a core piece of the city.
It's our only school. It's really important to us, and it's a part of our community.
Now, as of now, the school board is set to vote January 20th.
Well, Kissimmee commissioners voted unanimously last night to extend funding for the city's free rideshare service. This is called the Freebie Electric Shuttle Program, and it's been around since 2023. But now, as the city moves to renew its contract, it'll be extended. News 6's Alex Cooks takes us to Freebie for a test drive to see if it is worth keeping around.
Good stuff there. I've taken that, and it actually works and helps the people
It
out.
does what it's supposed to do.
Exactly. Time now, 5:40. Central Florida is using more water and fast.
Well, now there's a new warning coming up with a solution. It will not be cheap. Still ahead, how one local business is cutting back and what it could mean for the rest of us.
And we are still dealing with some pretty dense fog in some spots here in downtown Orlando, which is really the only camera I can find right now. With some of that fog, it is still just suspended above the roadways. Certainly some good news as we are waking up in near 60 degrees. But that warm up, even nearing record highs expected pretty soon. We'll have more on that in minutes.
And that fog causing some slight delays on 417 because of a crash out there southbound in the Seminole County area. Coming up, I'll show you exactly where it's at.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Gibson Truck World. The new and improved News 6 app is here. We've updated everything and added new features to make it even better. Like a more customizable home screen where you can log in and see the stories important to you at a glance. Stream News 6 and News 6 Plus live anywhere, anytime with picture-in-picture playback while using other apps on your phone. And now, the More For You section, which offers even more options to choose from. The new and improved News 6 app.
All right, very interesting question here. Do we have enough drinking water here in Florida? So that's the question asked every 5 years by the state's water management districts.
Well, the latest report is actually a little grim. It says we'll need to embrace conservation and alternative water supplies to make up for a projected shortfall. But as photojournalist Paul Giorgio shows us, both options come with a price.
Thank you, Paul. New this morning, Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence is going viral. Now, it's not for a touchdown, but for what happened after Sunday's blowout win over the Titans. Check this out. So I love this. Lawrence, he hit a bar with some teammates. That's where he met disabled veteran Natasha Lane. And instead of asking for a photo, she asked to squat him.
His reaction was very shocked. He looked at me and asked if I was being serious, and I said, I very much am.
So get this. She did 5 squats with Lawrence on her shoulders, and it's set to be another big weekend. The Jaguars face the Buffalo Bills Sunday in the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. That game, you can't miss it. It's right here on WKMG. See, this is the stuff, guys, I love because you're bigger than just the game that you're playing. It's about being people and watching and supporting. You didn't have to do that. I don't know if I would have.
Like, do you trust this person?
Right.
Well, that's where my worry wort comes in, where if the coach is like, you better not get hurt. You know what I mean?
That's like when we asked to do stuff here. When I tried to get Candace to do Red Bull, they're like, just one of you.
No. We need our men.
One in the past.
Oh, man.
Visibility right now out the door. They're dropping, and you can see less than about a quarter of a mile right now in areas in and around Orlando Airport, Kissimmee, Leesburg, Ocala right now, seeing the worst of it. Still very, very patchy. A lot of it is still just suspended above the roadways, but because there is the likelihood of some of that fog making its way down to the ground, and of course, causing some visibility issues, a dense fog advisory. Once again, third day in a row where we are tracking that fog. It's in effect until 9 a.m. Does not include any of our coastal counties. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Advent Health.
All right, your temperatures out the door. Right now, we are in the upper 50s to low 60s. You can see those temperatures there along the coastline. Same setup, upper 50s, low 60s at this point. We're at 62 in Cape Canaveral, 59 in Palm Coast. Now, highs today will be getting back into those low 80s. And then just like how we dealt with last night, temperatures are going to be cooling off nicely, gradually. 8 p.m. tonight, 73 degrees. As we head to 10 p.m., 64. And then by about midnight, we got those clear skies, that light breeze. We could have the 4th day in a row with some of that early morning patchy fog with temperatures down into the upper 50s to low 60s. But you can see the overall trend still clearing us out nicely. Tons of sunshine in the forecast. If kids have any after school activities for today, weather should be cooperating for all the outdoor activities. And then notice early Thursday morning, models are picking up on another round of some of that early morning fog. But let's kind of look down the futurecast here. We are talking near record highs really come Friday and Saturday as our winds are pumping in from the south. Then on late Sunday afternoon into the evening hours, it looks like a cold front, very weak in nature, really not producing a whole lot of rain, unfortunately, although we do need the rain. It will sweep through the area, bringing temperatures back to below average come Monday. So I just kind of wanted to show you the difference. This is Friday's highs. Low 80s, could be breaking records in Sanford, Orlando, Leesburg as well. And then as we head into Monday, notice the difference. The colors change, temperatures drop. We are talking about almost about a 15 to 20 degree drop in some locations between Friday and Monday. These are our temperatures, though, come Monday afternoon. So let's talk Disney Marathon weekend. Thursday, we got the 5K, 59 degrees. We're talking around the 5 a.m. hour when a lot of these races start. Friday for the 10K, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be starting off in the 60s. Saturday for the half marathon runners will be about 63 degrees, and same setup on Sunday. Maybe a little more cloud cover ahead of that cold front, but compared to the last couple of years where either whether we were dealing with severe weather or we're dealing with frigid temperatures, the weather for all you marathon runners, especially those doing the Dopey Challenge. That's all 4 in one weekend. Good luck to you. The weather, though, should cooperate. Now let's check on those roadways. What's your Pristine?
Yeah, there's a reason they call it the Dopey Challenge.
What kind of people are those? Wow.
Yeah, they're running all 4. I'm going to get in trouble. Southbound 417 at the 40-mile marker. Seminole County, listen, there's a crash that's blocking the left travel lane, but traffic is getting by. You're going to get through a brief slowdown, active construction. You can see the lights, so there's no excuse not to slow down. Please just make sure you're paying attention. That fog is out there. The rest of us doing good. If you're headed west on Aloma, maybe towards the Winter Park area, currently no problems and no other crash to report.
Okay, a Ferrari once owned by President Trump is headed to auction. It is right here in Central Florida.
Ahead at 6, the big event where you can actually go see it in person. First, though, tackling safety concerns in Daytona Beach, where more officers will soon be on patrol, and how it could change your next visit.
Watch Stephanie Rodriguez, your News 6 Osceola County community correspondent.
Welcome back here, 554. In Volusia County, Daytona Beach Police are stepping in. They want to boost security along the boardwalk and beachfront businesses. The department is planning on leasing an office at the Hilton Beachfront Resort, all for officers that will be assigned to patrol that specific area. Now, the move follows calls from business owners. They want more protection, and it comes after successful security expansions downtown.
Issues with the homeless, the camping, sometimes they can get aggressive, and then I could see how it creates issues for the businesses down there as well as visitors.
Well, business owners say it is a good start, but they want even more security, including private patrols like downtown. The final decision on the lease and officer deployment, that goes to the city commission tonight.
A health alert this morning. A new study shows certain preservatives in food could raise your risk for type 2 diabetes. So researchers in France found people who eat lots of preserved food and drinks have to a 49% chance of developing the disease. This means cutting back on things like canned goods, packaged snacks, processed meats, and sugary drinks. Basically everything. Experts say the best way to lower your risk is by eating fresh, minimalizing processed foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Basically, I misread that. You need to eat more of the good stuff.
Yeah,
all right.
It is like basically everything.
Yeah, right. Happening today, President Trump is set to brief senators after the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro.
Coming up, what he has to say about tens of millions of barrels of oil that he is claiming for the U.S. Mark.
Thousands of taxpayer dollars wasted after a mural that was on this wall was erased after accusations of plagiarism. Coming up, how Apopka leaders are deciding the future of the nonprofit behind the project.
Plus, an attempted abduction in Eustis ends with the suspect behind bars. Why neighbors say this close call has shaken the whole community. Candace.
Visibility limited at this point in time. Just how low is it making its way down to the surface? That will worsen as we get a bit closer towards our sunrise there. Visibility less than about a mile in Leesburg and Orlando and Kissimmee. We'll have more details on how much warmer temperatures that we'll get this week before a cool down arrives pretty soon.
Watch Justin Warmoth, your News 6 Orange County community correspondent.